So this painting is called Gift. Feel free to take a pause and look at it first, because I believe a painting is what the viewer brings to it, and it means what you need it to mean. Paintings get to meet you where you are. Feel free to pause here. So this is Patsy. Patsy was my aunt through a marriage, and I love her. I loved her. And this is an oil painting of Patsy, a very large oil painting of Patsy. Oil paintings are hours and hours in expensive pigment, and this is a fairly traditional piece of a standing person's portrait in their own domain. She's in this club now of important people who have had the opportunity to get oil paintings done of them. They're pricey, you know, and not only of her, but also her own environment. She is now in an elite group of humans, as she deserves to be. She's committed to this canvas with cadmium and ultramarine. Although I don't think I used cadmium or ultramarine in this painting. But why? Why did I think she was so important to paint her so traditionally and put her in this group? So oil paintings are typically, historically, they've been of people with power. They've been of the wealthy, the kings, the queens, the rock stars. People with power. Patsy had no power, no money, no fame. Not really much family, really. She had no money, no connections. She was poor. She lived in poverty. And of course she had family because I was family, but she quickly lost all family she had. She died without them, frankly. This in and of itself was a reason for me to paint her in all of her unmoneyed glory. I think everybody has intrinsic value, and they should be treated the same. So kind of painting someone without money, power, or affluence in a way that is reserved for those with money, power, and affluence serves as an equalizer for me, and I really like that a lot. Here she is in her kitchen with her cigarette, with no money. And that itself is a statement, just that she exists here in an oil painting. But out of all of the unmoneyed people, the people without money, power, or affluence, why Patsy? Why did I choose Patsy? Well, everyone's got that fun aunt that teaches them to be creative, teaches them how to love life. And for me, that was Patsy. She taught me how to create, she taught me how to play, she taught me how to make, she told me that I could make things that other people bought. That was Patsy. She taught me how to create things to show that I loved others, like cards and drawings for them. And she also made things for me that showed me how much she loved me, like cards and drawings and Halloween costumes. And this is my favorite memory of her that I've painted. This is one year when we were in her house, which was dingy and dusty, but had her in it, so it was full of joy because she was full of joy. But we were in her house and we were putting up her Christmas tree, and she didn't really have any Christmas ornaments. For one, she didn't have the money, but for two, why buy them? You can make them, it's so much better. So we sat there one afternoon and we made construction paper garlands and popcorn garlands, and we made this Christmas tree together, and it's one of my fondest memories, and I wanted to memorialize it forever. She taught me how to make Christmas appear out of glue sticks and construction paper and stale popcorn. She spent a lot of time with me just making these simple things that I loved and she loved. One something that I value a lot about myself is my creativity and my desire to create and make things, and that came from Patsy. So with all that said, Patsy is really fucking important. So Patsy wasn't around for too long in our lives or otherwise. She was my aunt from marriage, and my uncle and her split and she moved down to Florida somewhere. And this is before, the internet was probably around, but we didn't have access to it. We certainly didn't know how to look up people. People were just harder to find, especially when they weren't missing. She had divorced my uncle. They didn't want to be together. So even though I loved her and my parents loved her, they're respecting the uncle's wishes. So she left and we didn't hear from her. Years later, when we did get access to the internet and we did learn how to search it for people, we did find her and we found her obituary. She died because people broke into her house and beat her to death. She lived alone. Her family had all kind of disappeared or passed before she married my uncle, so none of them were around. She was never able to have children. That's part of why me and her bonded so well, because she had the desire for children and I was kind of the youngest one of my cousins at the time. But she died alone. And that is so fucking depressing. I don't know who was there to mourn her when it happened. And I don't know how many people keep her in their memory now. By painting her, I'm changing that. By painting her, I'm keeping her in my memory. I'm sharing her. I'm putting her in the memory of others. And I have a giant oil painting of her. I only have a single photo of Patsy, but now I have a 3-foot by 4-foot oil painting celebrating her and what she meant to me. And making a statement about valuing lives all at the same time. So that's why Patsy. That's why Patsy. So here we are. I'm sharing this so more people can remember her because she is important. She's as important as any king or queen or celebrity. And to me, she's more important than those people. So I'm sharing her with the world. I'm sharing this painting so that maybe you can something on it can register with you and you can reflect on some fond memories maybe that you had with your aunt, or fond memories you had in a similar house with the cheap paneling, or some fond memories you've had at Christmas. Hopefully this painting brings up any of your memories as well. Hopefully it reminds you of someone you loved in their cozy house. This is my Patsy. I love her. And this painting is called Gift.